Hello guys! Today we are kicking off another cozy fall reading vlog. This will be the second one I think of the season for me, but this one's extra special because it's going to be Scooby Doo Readathon. You know, we're incorporating that. If you didn't see my announcement video, I'll link it above. My friend Sonia from Sonia with an I is doing a Scooby Doo Readathon. She did one last year and I participated and I loved it, and she's doing it again this year. I'm gonna dress up as Daphne at some point. I'm very excited. But it's a dice roll prompt game and we're gonna go ahead and pick my TBR based on that. I'm very excited and we're just gonna have a fun, cozy fall time. So if that sounds good to you, let's go ahead and get into the TBR. So for starters, I did roll 2 of my rolls early so I could let my patrons vote on books for the pick. So one of them for the Mystery Machine prompt is Murder on Devil's Pond by Isla Rose. This is a Hummingbird Hollow B&B mystery. And in this one, our main character, Hannah, she's in her 30s. She returns to her hometown with her sister, or to meet up with her sister, to renovate this Victorian mansion and make it into a B&B, and of course, I think a body is found nearby. So this will be my Mystery Machine prompt that they voted on. And then the other one that got selected for the Daphne prompt is Hexes and Hush Money. And this one is really cute. This one is one that just came out, I think, this month. This is a supernatural mystery about a witch named Ivy who runs a cat cafe. I am very excited. I have this one on ebook from NetGalley, so I don't have something to hold up for it, but the cover for it is darling. So let's go ahead and pick out some more books. I really need to read the new Lisa Jewell because my library hold is coming to an end for that. So I need to roll something for that for sure. Let's do some rolling. All right, let's do our first roll. We got a 3 for Scooby. So I actually have an idea for an audiobook for this. I want to listen to Murder at the Scottish Castle by Tracy Hall. This is the next one in the Scottish Shire mystery series for me. I think it's book 4, and at least the audiobook cover, because I was looking at my library before filming this, the audiobook cover is very brown looking to me, and it also has Wallace the Scottish Terrier on it for the animal prompt. All right, Scooby, let's go ahead and roll next. I need some thrillers and so I have some great cozies here, but I want a little more variety. We got a 6. Okay, so we got another Mystery Machine prompt. All right, let's hold on to that. Let's maybe do 2 more. I have no self-control with these like games. This is gonna be a hard one, isn't it? 5. Okay, so 5 is Fred. And let's get one more. 1. Okay, that's a Daphne. Is this gonna be like last year where I didn't get like a single Shaggy? I don't know what it is, but I don't feel like I ever roll Shaggies. Okay, so we have Daphne, a Fred, and a Mystery Machine. No doubles, so I haven't got a monster penalty yet. Should I roll one more? Let's roll one more. Come on, why not? You know, no self-control. Let's go for, is that 7, I think? Yeah, that'd make it 7. Okay, another Fred. Oh, that is. We just did a, no, we did a Daphne last time. Okay, so Fred, so I have 2 Freds, a Daphne, and a Mystery Machine to pick. We already picked the Scooby-Doo one. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this. Okay, I'm gonna pick this Lisa Jewell, Don't Let Him In, as one of the Fred prompts because it talks about a traveling salesman as one of the characters, or like someone who travels for work, so we're gonna go with that. My Mystery Machine right there. Let's see what else we have here. Ooh, what about this one? Let's do this for Daphne because it's got The Lies I Tell by Julie Clark, and this one's actually about, I think it's kind of like a revenge thriller. One of the women is a con artist and the other one is trying to catch up with her after all these years, but then realizes things aren't what they seem. It's kind of the general premise. And I had this in my fall TBR, and this one is at least half purple, so we're gonna go with that as another option. So I am having a very rough time with the Fred prompt. Like, very rough. So I'm gonna switch out Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell for Fog and Fury for the Mystery Machine prompt because this has like a highway on the cover, so that seems fair. This was the pick from my patrons for the Mystery Machine as well. Still gonna go with this for Daphne. And then this one, I feel like these are Fred's colors. I know it's not like a fully white cover, but the kind of, I mean, I think this is told from the perspective of women, but there's like a man kind of at the center of it. Don't Let Him In, and it's blue and white, so I'm just going with that for Fred because I am struggling. For the Scooby prompt, we have our Scottish Shire mystery, audiobook, and then Hexes and Hush Money. So I think that's still, so I have 3 thrillers here, and then that's 3 cozies between the audiobook, ebook, and this. So I have 1 left, and that's a Fred, which Fred is really giving me a rough time here. I think I want to read a classic mystery, and I'm thinking I have a couple options. So I have By the Pricking of My Thumb by Agatha Christie, which I think is a Tommy and Tuppence mystery, so that has a male hero. We also have the Lord Peter Wimsey story here, and the murder of Roger Ackroyd, which I think I'm going to pick because I think this is an Hercule Poirot, and the cover is also white, so either way it goes with the Fred prompt. So let's do that. This is going to be... Here is our little selection. I did some work on my reading journal today. I did my fall TBR spread and a Scooby Doo Readathon spread. I did some experimenting. I don't know how all of it turned out, but this is my first year really reading journaling. I'm not a pro or anything, but here is the Scooby Doo spread, which I think turned out super cute. I had some Scooby Doo stickers, and this one actually just happened to be like a random one, but it reminded me of the Mystery Machine with the little flowers and like the orange, and this is like a very groovy font. So these are the ones I have. I have 7 books here for the TBR for this video, and then 3 of the Scooby Doo shows that I'm watching, which is the 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo, the original Where Are You series, and the movie Scooby Doo and the Boo Brothers, which is a nostalgic favorite of mine. I have finished. I put little X's on The Lies I Tell and Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell, so I'm going to give you updates on those later, as well as Murder at a Scottish Castle and Murder on Devil's Pond, which I'm part of the way into. So that is my Scooby Doo spread, which I just love. I love the colors. I did all these like little squigglies in purple, orange, and green, which are the colors that really come to mind for me. And then I had the fall TBR. This is my first time using this stamp set I bought, and I think it worked really well. It did kind of create little edges. I gotta maybe be a little careful about how I stamp it, but I kind of like the effect. So I just have this little title page. And I had like 4 pages of books because I make big seasonal TBRs because I don't do like monthly TBRs usually. So again, I've already finished this one, so I have that checked off as well as the Butcher. And then this one I just kind of did them staggered out with some stickers, nothing too crazy. This one, it got pretty busy. I wanted to like try like putting pages kind of almost behind it. It got a little crazy. I think I kind of like it. I think it's very busy, both of these, but I had fun with it. It was good to experiment. And then the last page, a little more simple. It just had these kind of taped on with some washi and a couple of stickers and some little stars. Nothing big. Like I said, I'm not like some major reading journaler. I do want to invest this coming year in like one that lays flat, because I would love to do the spreads where you can do something like in the middle. But right now I have this binding here, which isn't amazing, but I really like how this turned out. And yeah, that's my fall TBR. I feel like I'm making good progress already because I have Death Takes Priority and Oolong Dead on this page read. I have Forget Me Not read, and Intrigue of Witches I did a softie enough. It just was too fantasy heavy for me. The writing was gorgeous, but too fantasy heavy for me. I'm going to read this for this vlog as well as this one. These two will be read in this vlog. I'm hoping to listen to this one soon. And then I've read this one and this one. And this one. So I feel like I'm making good progress considering I've only had my TBR for like 2 weeks or so. But I'm really excited. I think these turned out cute. This is a Nancy Drew journal. I actually got this in Ashland, Oregon last year. And it's just really cute. It's actually got real pages from the book in it, which is fun. I thought that was like perfect for a reading journal. And this is, see, like I tried to do like a middle spread for this here. I did a Christmas in July readathon with my patrons, which I really had so much fun doing. These are some of the books I read. So I plan on, I think with the Scooby Doo TBR, writing in small print next to it like I did here, like the rating I gave it. So yeah, that is my plan. Like this one here I just didn't get to during the readathon, but everything else on this page I did read. Or this one I DNF'd, unfortunately, but everything else actually was really good for this readathon. I had a good time. So I'm planning on, once this readathon is finished, going in and writing like on the sides or in the little margins the ratings I give them. So yeah, this is definitely my favorite page. I just love the color, and I had to put Daphne and Velma, my girls, on here. Had the Groovy Gang here, so that is my thing. I love the zoinks and the read-on, the fun kind of groovy fonts. It's just kind of some random fall stuff I put in there to fill some space. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely messy. Like there's some pro reading journal YouTubers out there who do such a fantastic job. I'm not someone to like draw giant spreads or anything. It's more of like a bookish, kind of scrapbooky feel, if you will, but I have a good time with it. I think it is fun. I'm really looking forward to experimenting with the stamps. This was something I've been waiting to buy until I knew that I was going to continue reading journaling. So I wanted to give myself, you know, at least half a year or more of consistent reading journaling before I like started investing in some stuff, and this is something I really wanted to get. So I'm very excited because I'm not very good at titles, but I do love the stamped look. So yeah, I'm happy. I feel like this is cute. This is actually my patron book club. So these are all the books we've read starting last year when I launched and then into this year. So I do the star ratings and a quick little write up for each one. I need to add August because we just did Barry's Secrets by Peg Cochran, but that is what that is. And then I have some previous spreads that I've shown you guys, like this here is my summer TBR, which I should go and update because I know I've read some more of these. I didn't get to a lot of these though. I did read that. I'm working on this one. I'm still making pretty good progress. I'm happy. I feel like these visual TBRs help me a lot because I love being able to check things off and I like the visual element, so definitely helps a lot. I'm going to go through and check some of these, update them, but thank you guys so much for joining me with the reading journaling. I will give you guys a reading update later on these two thrillers and these two cozies because I have quite a few thoughts. Hi guys, reading update time. I had so much fun today doing some crafts and coloring and just using my hands, doing something more tactile because I work so much on computers that it's just nice to cook, bake, craft. I really look forward to that. Anyways, I have a handful of reading updates. I did have to return the Lisa Jewell book to my library because it was due, so I will pop the picture on screen for that part, which I have a bone to pick with. Get there. For starters, I am on chapter 13 of Murder at a Scottish Castle by Tracy Hall. This is the, I think, 4th book in the Scottish Shire mystery series, and I'm a big fan. Paisley is 30. She has a son who's about 12. He's younger in the earlier books because he does age throughout this, but her and her grandfather and son all live together, and she runs Cashmere Crush, which is a yarn knitting shop. And in this one, she is on commission by this local royal to make like cashmere sweaters for the castle gift shop, and while she's there, there's like an event with bagpipers and someone dies, and this kicks off the mystery. I'm really loving this. I mean, I love Wallace the Scottish Terrier. I really love this one for all the family ties in it. The 3 generations under one roof. Oh, so sweet. This is my first time actually listening to it on audiobook. The other books I've read physically, and I'm actually really enjoying it. It's really fun to listen to the Scottish accents and to just hear it said aloud. So I am really enjoying that, but so far the mystery is good. There's some interesting subplots in this one, and I just love the heart of Paisley and her family. I love that so much. Next, we have Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I actually DNF'd this. I read about 220 pages. I think there was another 130 or so pages. So I read like 2/3 of this book. It was just so repetitive. I was like, okay. So basically we have several different points of views, several different women, and they are all being taken advantage of by this man who, I mean, I don't know for sure. I didn't finish the book, so this isn't a spoiler, but we presume there seems to be connections that they are the same person. And it's just, it was just so tedious. It was just so much back and forth. There were so many characters in this, and they were very bland characters. I wasn't really feeling very interested in them. There's like one character, the younger woman who was trying to protect her mom, who kind of stood out to me, but everybody else I was just like you could have kind of replaced, like, interchanged them. I just did not feel that interested in their timelines or points of views, and it was just like 220 pages of establishing that this guy is a bad person, and I was like, we established that like after 50 pages. So yeah, I DNF'd it. I honestly was about to hit a reading slump if I continued it. This is the first time I haven't enjoyed a Lisa Jewell. I'm actually really shocked. So this one, it was just too many characters. It was bogged down by details. And I just was like, okay, when is the plot going? Like, I don't know. Like, when are we moving forward with this plot line? And, like, this guy, I don't know, getting caught or something. Whatever the climax of this is. I was just like, because we're just kind of going through all of these different ways that this person has, like, messed up people's lives and conned them. Because he's, like, a scam artist, probably. And it was just like, I am so bored right now. And I love usually like a con artist kind of thriller or mystery. I find that to be very interesting. So I was enjoying it at first to kind of see just like the setup and how, like, you know, how he kind of integrated his way into people's lives. But I was just like, what is this? Like, when are we going to move forward? I don't know. And I know that con artists can be very persuasive, but there were some times where I was like, okay, your friends and people in your life are warning you, and you're brushing off every single warning for this guy who just came like a month or 2 into your life. I don't know. I've never been in that position. I'm trying not to judge, but if you have like your daughter or your friends or people in your life who really care and love about you for many years, and then you're suddenly not trusting their opinion, I feel like that's a little odd. I don't know. That's just me. Anyways, after that, I dived into The Lies I Tell by Julie Clark because I was hoping for a palette cleanser, a better thriller, because I was just like, I was looking for that fun and that thrill, and I didn't get it from Lisa Jewell, which was a real disappointment. This, however, this delivered. This was a 4-star read for me. I didn't even give you guys a halfway point update on this because I finished this one evening. So if that doesn't say it all, this was really good. So we have 2 women in this. We have Meg, who also goes by a variety of names because she's a con artist. And then we have Kat. And Kat, has been watching Meg for a long time because Kat had some kind of incident with Meg many years ago and she kind of wants revenge. So it's like 10 years later and she sees Meg at this event and she wants to get closer to Meg, and Kat is like a journalist and she wants to expose her both for her career and personal reasons. But the closer she gets to Meg, the more she starts to question whether or not Meg is in the right or the wrong, which is fascinating. There are several timelines you get to read from both ladies' perspectives, which I loved, but you do get to read about the past, about some of Meg's previous cons, which I found to be fascinating. Like I said, I do really enjoy like a scam con artist setup in a thriller. I find it just fascinating, like how, I don't know how people pull it off. I don't know if they have the confidence and the gall, but apparently they do. But I find it fascinating in fiction, and this was really good. Kat had some interesting subplots in her life going on. I ate this up. I devoured this. I am looking for more Julie Clark because this is the second one I've read by her. I loved The Ghostwriter. That one came out and I think I gave that 4.5 stars or so. This one was really, really strong. The last page of this, oh, so satisfying. It's just so satisfying. I was like, absolutely, thank you. So satisfying. Anyways, but I enjoyed this so much. I don't know if it was twisty and fun and fast-paced and kept me on the edge of my seat, but it wasn't like shocking necessarily. Like it was twisty and fun and suspenseful. I don't know if any particular part like stunned me beyond belief, like some huge reveal or something, but it was just so fun and bingeable. So if you're looking for a really bingeable, suspenseful, fun time, this was just really interesting, and it really makes you question morality in a bit, like ethics. What is ethics? And just seeing some of Meg's reasoning and Kate watching Meg and going, you know what, maybe she's right about this, I don't know. And like it's fascinating. It's fascinating. I love it. It's like a good psychology, it's kind of like a good look at human psychology, and I find that interesting. And then last but not least, we have Murder on Devil's Pond by Isla Rose. I am just a little bit into this, about 30 pages. This is a Hummingbird Hollow B&B mystery. This is book 1 in the series. There's only one book out in this. Have any of you heard anything about more coming out in this? Because I haven't seen anything. And I think this came out in 23? No, 2024, so hopefully more are coming out. But our main character in this is Hannah, and she runs a B&B in Vermont with her sister Reggie. Now Reggie is kind of hands-off. She like owns the property, but she gave Hannah a deal to come join her in running it if she took over most of the management. And Hannah was more than happy to do that because she has experience running B&Bs. What's interesting about this, besides the mystery part of course, is that this goes deeply into like the botanical aspect of gardening and preserving nature and attracting pollinators and things like that, which I found to be really interesting. Hannah, that's like a passion project of hers, is choosing the right pollinators, and she really likes insects and bugs because she's trying to cultivate like a good habitat for them. I found that so interesting. So I'm really enjoying looking at that more. Like a lot of the choices she's made for the inn reflect that, and like she's doing different landscaping projects right now to try to achieve that. Anywho, this one involves a mystery about a man named Ezra, who is this kind of grumpy 80-year-old neighbor who's very standoffish after he lost his wife. He's got a dog, and Hannah is one of the few who can befriend him. She brings him food, she checks on him, they have a shared interest actually in plants, and unfortunately he is found dead, and this turns into some kind of murder mystery. Not very far into it, but the mystery does kick off pretty quickly in this. I'm very interested in the B&B aspect. I'm interested in Hannah's relationship with her sister Reggie because they're not actually that close. Like, they have a good relationship, but they're not, like, super touchy-feely close, and I kind of assumed, based on the fact that it's two sisters running a B&B, I thought, oh, they're gonna be, like, best friends, and they're not, which is kind of interesting. She also has a niece named Peach, who's really cute. And yeah, I'm kind of curious to learn more about Hannah and Reggie's experience together. I think part of the reason they're not as close is because Reggie is, I was like 11 or 13 years older. Like, there's a large age gap between them, so I'm kind of hoping maybe throughout the book or the series that they will bond over some things or get closer. That would be really sweet. I don't know, but I am so enjoying this, and this cover also is just beyond gorgeous. So that is my reading update. I'm going to continue reading Murder at a Scottish Castle on audio and Murder on a Devil's Pond. Then I'm going to start Fog and Fury for my next thriller option. So very excited for that, and I'll give you guys an update as soon as I have some more reading done. Hi guys, I am finishing up a work day. I am so tired right now. It's just been one of those really rough days where I feel like I put so much effort in, but I don't know if I really got much done. Like I tried. I don't know. Regardless, I'm going to be making a Zuppa Tuscana soup recipe that I've really been looking forward to. I'm hoping this will give me a good second wind for the evening. I'm hoping to have some coziness tonight. So I am going to be making that. I will link the recipe down below. This is like a copycat recipe for the Olive Garden soup. I made it once, I think, last year and I really enjoyed it. So I'm trying it again. I will be halving the recipe because it's just my husband and I, and it makes like 8 servings. And then I'm gonna use I have some like chopped ham steak that I'm gonna use in the place of bacon bits to give it that little bit of flavor, because I don't have bacon. But otherwise I should have everything, hopefully. So that is that, but we're gonna go ahead and kick into that. I did want to give you guys a warning. Mr. Boaz was neutered recently. He got fixed, so he's in a cone right now. So if you happen to see him, I'll show you a little bit of footage of him. He is doing okay. He's fine. You know, recovering, stitches and everything are good. But if you see him in a cone, he is okay. Nothing like permanent or, you know, super scary or anything, but he is in a blue soft cone right now at my feet. So just so you guys know, but let's go ahead and just hop into some soup making. I'm just so ready for this. I feel like this is like the ultimate cozy, creamy, potatoey soup. So that sounds so good right now. And I got my Scooby Doo shirt on, which I'm very excited for. So I'll give some reading updates in a little bit, but first we're gonna make dinner. Say hi, Mr. Boaz. Would you like to file a complaint about your cone situation, sir? Yes, I am sorry about it. I know. I know. It's like it's the cone of shame. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. Hi guys, quick little haul here. I received a generous ARC from an author and also picked up 2 books from the library, so I thought I'd share them with you guys. So the first book is the ARC from the author. This is Deck the Halls with Homicide by Christina Romero, and this is the 3rd book in the Killer Chocolate Mystery, which has these twin sisters who run this like bookshop, chocolate shop, and you're following Alex and Hannah, who are the twins. Alex, I think, is the more prominent character, and she is helping judge this Deck the Halls contest. I think it's like a decorating contest around town, and there's this woman nicknamed the Dragon who is very dragon-like, you know, not very, I'm sure not very well liked, probably a little over the top. She's found murdered, and I think Alex's beau is accused or like a suspect, so she gets involved in this. I really liked book 1. I need to listen to book 2, which is the Nutcracker Nightmare, so I need to do that one soon, and then I want to read this one. I'm really excited. I think this book comes out, I want to say this book comes out in October, but I'll put the release date on screen because I'm not 100%. Then I picked up this thriller, Everyone is Lying to You by Joe Piazza. I've had this on hold waiting for it to come into my library so long. It's kind of like a influencer trad wife thriller, which I'm really curious about. So we have these two best friends, Lizzie and Bex. They were best friends in college. It's 15 years later, and Liz is kind of a struggling mom. She's just watching Instagram reels a lot. She's just trying to, you know, do the best she can. And Bex is actually this like trad wife influencer with like tons of followers, 5 kids, the perfect husband. She lives on a ranch, but she actually reaches out to Liz with this opportunity that would really help Liz's career. And Liz comes out to meet her, and Bex is missing, and her husband is found murdered at the ranch. And now she's got to uncover all these secrets about her friend from like the last 15 years. So this one sounds really interesting. I do love a good influencer thriller. I feel like the dark sides of social media are really terrifying and if done well, so I'm excited for this. I've never read anything by this author, but I'm very excited. The last book I picked up at the library was The Grim Steeper by Gretchen Rue. This is the 3rd in the Witch's Brew mystery series. I just read book 2. Really, really love it. Our main character is Phoebe Winchester. She runs a bookshop, tea shop, like kind of apothecary, with Bob the cat, who's here on the cover, and he's one of my favorite sidekick feline characters. He's so cute. And she has some witchy abilities, and she's got some really interesting powers. I won't spoil it or anything, but I really do like kind of the direction that this supernatural cozy goes. And this one's got a fun premise. She's actually about to run her first author event at the bookshop, and the author actually claims to have found this believed to be extinct bird, and he's going to take people on a bird watching like expedition the next morning to show proof of this, and then he's found murdered, and Phoebe gets involved. I'm really curious about I was wondering why there was such a prominent bird on here besides it being adorable with Bob the cat. So I'm very excited for this. This is just such a fun like fall cozy mystery series, and I'm hopeful about this thriller and very excited for this Christmas cozy. Oh my goodness, this cover. And I love the title deck, The Halls with Homicide. I mean, come on. So cute. So very excited to read these in the coming days. Hi guys, we have some big reading updates tonight. So I am I feel like the soup turned out really well last night, but then I was just so tired I didn't do a lot of reading, but I got some done today, so we're gonna give you some updates. So for starters, I finished Fog and Fury by Rachel Housel Hull. I was disappointed by the ending of this. So the premise is we have this LAPD like detective, Sony, who is moving out to a small town in Haven with her mother, who's currently struggling with some memory issues. She's moving out there. She's gonna become a private investigator instead. She thinks this will be a quiet kind of turn of like, so this will be like a quieter pace of living for her, and you know, she's got several reasons she's moving out there, but she starts working on this case where she's looking for a missing dog. Then there is a young teenage boy who is found dead on this nearby trail, and it's believed to be maybe an accident or maybe self-inflicted. It's not being looked at as suspicious, but her little, you know, her detective instincts are going off. So if you can hear that, I'm sorry, it's my laundry. We've had to do so much extra laundry with Boaz being neutered. It's been a little messy. Anyways, so I loved the mystery. It was slow burn, but like after the first 100 pages, I mean, I was really enjoying the characterization in the first 100 pages, but after the first 100 pages, I was flying through this book. I couldn't wait. I was like on the edge of my seat. I was loving it, okay? I thought this was gonna be matching What Never Happened by Rachel Housel Hull, which is my favorite by her. The problem with this is that the ending felt very rushed. I feel like it left things unexplained, and now there is an overarching kind of mystery, it seems, because this is a series. This is book 1 in the series, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with there being some little like cliffhangers, you know, little feelers out there to keep you interested in wanting to read book 2. However, the mystery that was specific to this book, which was the teen boy, it didn't really feel wrapped up. Like, we got an answer, yes, but it didn't really get complete. Like, there were still loose ends, and that bothered me. So I think I'm gonna have to give it like 3 stars, maybe 2.75, probably round it up to 3 stars on Goodreads. Like, it was still a pretty good read, but I was just so let down by the ending, honestly, because again, it just felt super rushed. It had the makings of a fantastic ending and mystery, but it felt incredibly rushed, and then I just had some loose ends and things that just are bothering me. And it's just such a great setting because the whole premise is like we have this small town called Haven. It's like one letter short of heaven is kind of their slogan, and they are very protective and secretive and like don't want anything to get out. It's very much about the, you know, small town trying to protect and look like this perfect idyllic place even when things do happen, because of course anywhere there are people, things happen, unfortunately. So I was ready for this. I don't know. I might still read book 2. I don't know. If you read it, I'd love to hear. Hi, Boaz. He just knocked into my tripod, sorry. He just finished his dinner and he's very excited. Very excited right now. Anywho, I also finished Murder at a Scottish Castle by Tracy Hall, which was on audio. Really loved this. This was a solid 4 stars. Love the series. It's so good. The mystery for this was good. The ending was super interesting. I thought I had it figured out, but I was actually quite wrong, which is always fun when there's a good pull the rug from like out from under you kind of moment. And I had such a good time with this, and I just love Paisley and her family. Like just the family scenes are cozy. The cashmere crush with the, you know, the knitting crocheting she does. I just love that. And this one had some really great elements that she was exploring with her family and what she wants for her life. And if you like a family-centric cozy, you can't go wrong with this. Wallace the Scottish Terrier is adorable, and I did really enjoy this on audio. It was my first time listening to it on audio rather than reading it, and the Scottish accents were delightful. So if you like audiobooks, this was a really fun one. Would really recommend. Then I'm part of the way into these 2 books. The only one I haven't started is Hexes and Hush Money. That will be my last book for this vlog, but let's go with The Murder of Roger Ackroyd by Agatha Christie. I'm on page 60. There's about 300 pages. So far, so good. I'm very intrigued by this book. It kind of centers around a... Yes, Mr. Beau. It centers around a brother and sister, and it seems like Hercule Poirot is their neighbor, and they keep calling him the wrong name. It's really funny. But we're learning about who Roger Ackroyd is, what is happening, and obviously this isn't a spoiler, but based on the title here, he is murdered. So that is the central mystery that Hercule Poirot, I'm sure, will start to delve into. But I'm really enjoying this. The main like male character is like a surgeon, so I'm really enjoying his kind of medical approach on things. His sister's very much like kind of a gossip, very nosy and speculative, and I really like her. So I'm enjoying this. I'm so looking forward to the ending and like the reveal for this. This has been on my need to read list for such a long time, and I believe it's like one of her most beloved works ever. And I need to watch a movie version of this later, so that is exciting. Almost done. Then I made progress on Murder on Devil's Pond by Isla Rose. Do any of you know if more books are coming out in the series? I need to know. I'm on page 176. Again, there are about 300 pages in this, so I'm about almost two-thirds of the way in. I'm so sorry if my laundry machine is noisy. It is like one of the noisiest laundry machines I think I've ever heard in my life, but that is okay. So I think I've kind of explained the basic premise of this, but Hannah is our main character. She runs this beautiful B&B. She's trying to do this like landscaping and botanical work around the area to really support the native like insects and animals in the area, which is a really interesting element. It takes place in Vermont. It's so cozy. I love this. And her neighbor and friend, who's a very like grumpy man, Ezra, is killed. And she starts to kind of get involved in figuring out what happened to him. He's got some very suspicious nieces and nephews. There were people who wanted his property and his land, and it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I think the mystery and the pacing, the characters are great. I feel like her older sister Reggie is interesting. They have a very interesting relationship. Usually I think in cozies, a lot of times like the sisters are like best friends or something, and this is not the case with them, but they are getting there, and I love her niece Peach. She has an interesting relationship with her father as well, which you get to learn about. There's just a lot of interesting like family dynamics. The botany element is interesting. I don't really have a solid theory for who has done it yet. I'm just here for the ride. I'm really enjoying it. So far this is feeling like at least a 4-star read. I'm hoping more will come out in this series. It has such a charming setting. I really enjoy reading about the everyday shenanigans around the cozy inn. I feel like that's really fun because Hannah will do some baking, and she'll, you know, be like she'll be at the like concierge desk. I just really like her. She lives at the inn. There's a dog that gets involved in this one who's very cute. His name is Moose. Come on, Moose. That's adorable. Anyways, so these are the 2 books that I am currently reading, and then Probably when I finish this one, I'll start Hexes and Hush Money. So I'm planning on doing some more reading tonight. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I might make some blueberry pancakes. I don't know. That just sounds really good. I just want some like cozy comfort food, and blueberry pancakes sound rather delicious. So I might make those, but I think I'm gonna change into my pajamas. Honestly, I just want to be in pajamas right now. So that's where we're at. It is currently Wednesday, and it just is one of those weeks where I'm like, this feels like a very long week already. But that's okay. We'll get through it. So let's go ahead and do that. Hi guys, final reading update for this vlog. So I did finish The Murder of Roger Ackroyd and Hexes and Hush Money. We had one big hit and one not so big, unfortunately. So I did adore The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. This is a 5-star read for me. I loved this. I was actually able to put together the ending in most of its entirety, or at least like kind of the twist and the reveal, but it is a brilliant one. It is such a good one, and I feel like if I hadn't read so many like modern mysteries and thrillers that maybe had drawn inspiration from this, I probably wouldn't have gotten it. Like I could see why this is incredibly revolutionary for the time that it came out, and I just loved it. I ate up every bit of this book. So good. I'm now on a mission to find the David Suchet, hopefully, version of The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. It was so satisfying. I don't think it's as fun as Death on the Nile or Murder in the Orient Express because of the setting. It's just kind of like a manor in the English countryside. There's not like a whole lot of atmosphere to it in that sense, but the characters are so rich and layered in this one, and Hercule Poirot is in top form. Some of his lines in this, I was like cackling. I was laughing while reading this. Like I couldn't help but smile. Because it was just, he's just so, I love it so much. I loved the narrator's sister Caroline. She was just a hoot. I loved Hercule Poirot. There were so many interesting motivations throughout this with all the different characters. I loved seeing how the mystery unfolded with this. Highly recommend. If you have never read Agatha Christie, but you enjoy like modern mysteries and thrillers, I would say And Then There Were None is a really good starting place. Or Murder in the Orient Express or Death on the Nile, just because I feel like those are so atmospheric and fun. But this one is really one that I would definitely read earlier rather than later. It's a really solid book. I loved this so incredibly much. I don't know, it just made me so happy. I feel like Agatha Christie just has so many plots within a plot. Within, like, there's so many little subplots going on, and she keeps them all straight, and they're all revealed within due time, and it's just, oh, unfortunately, I did not love Hexes and Hush Money by Hazel Caraway, so this is the first in this like witchy cat cafe mystery series, which is such an amazing setting. This one had atmosphere down. The atmosphere, I was immediately immersed within chapter 1 into the atmosphere of the cafe and just the vibes, and that was excellent. That was a really strong point for this. What wasn't for me personally was that this felt too short for what the author was trying to accomplish. It felt very rushed at times. I felt like I would blink and I was suddenly thrust into like a different scene, and it felt like there hadn't been enough time given to the previous scene. It was a short cozy for sure, and then there's a romantic subplot going on with this, and it felt like insta-love, like absolutely insta-love. It was hinted at, I believe, that there was some kind of flirtation, possibly, maybe on at least one person's side, but by the end of this, I mean, I couldn't even, like, the progression, it was so rapid, for me at least. Now, the witchy vibes were fun. I liked, there's like this coins that are kind of like appearing in different parts of the town, and that's part of this like local legend and like the witchy magic, and that part was very well written. I thought that was super interesting. I hadn't seen something like that done before in like a supernatural cozy. Really enjoyed that, but I just wish the author had slowed down some of the subplots, maybe saved some of it for like later books, and maybe expanded a bit upon and like developed a bit more of the plot in this one. It just felt really fast-paced. Now, with that said, I would still consider reading the next book if it piques my interest, because like I said, the atmosphere was really great. I loved the cat cafe. I really did like the main character, Ivy's like grandmother, and her friend, I think Sage. I just liked all of that. I liked the setting a lot, and I thought the queens and some of the witchy legends of this island were very interesting, but the pacing and how quick some things happened was what got me. So I'm gonna give this like 2.75, rounded up to 3. I feel I don't know. I'm gonna round it up to 3 on Goodreads, but it's not a book I would strongly recommend personally, or at least go in knowing that it is very fast paced and kind of, to me, chaotic. I felt like some things weren't fully explained either about the plot, or like were just kind of assumed, and then I suddenly was like, this thing had happened, but I was like, how did we get from like A to B? Because apparently I missed A to B. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. It felt a little rushed, but overall I think the vibes and the atmosphere and the general setup and bones of the story were really good. I just wanted a little bit more. So that's kind of where I'm at. Not my strongest point, but I hope you guys enjoyed this Scooby Doo Readathon vlog. I had so much fun with this. Thank you guys all for coming and participating in sprints and telling me, about the reads you're doing for the Scooby Doo Readathon. I love your passion for Scooby Doo, as I do, obviously. Also have quite a love for Scooby Doo. So thank you guys so much for joining us during this readathon, and thank you to Sonia again for hosting and creating the fun idea for this readathon. I love it. So hope to see you guys again next year, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy cozy reading vlogs or mystery books in any kind of realm, from cozy to thrillers. I talk about it here. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon. Bye.